Good evening, everybody. I am presenting a case that is fatal pseudoaneurysm in a common femoral artery. The case was reported from Maulana Azad Medical College, where the autopsy was conducted in the Department of Forensic Medicine, Maulana Azad Medical College. So, this Maulana Azad Medical College caters the medical legal autopsy of Central Delhi. On dated 9/5/2010, a 30-year-old male was found lying on roadside by a NGO worker. He saw there was a globular inguinal swelling with intact skin over that person's left inguinal region, and after that he saw also there is a leak from that swelling and little bit blood is oozing out from it. So he immediately taken that person to the LN casualty, where he was admitted. On asking that person, he was found a rickshaw and a known chronic drug addict. Especially he used to take IV drugs. There was no history of trauma to the inguinal region, or there is no surgical procedure undergone in that region, in that left inguinal region. So he was examined by the doctor in the casualty. On examination, he was found conscious. He was a thin-built person. The vitals were all temperature, he was afebrile. The respiratory rate was 24 per minute. The blood pressure was 110 by 80 millimeter per millimeter Hg, and the pulse rate was 72 per minute. On auscultation, heart sounds and bilateral airway entry was normal. On local examination of that left inguinal region, a pulsatile swelling with blood oozing out was seen in the left inguinal region, associated with paresis of lower limb without any motor involvement. A Doppler ultrasound was conducted. A large heterogeneous mass with ill-defined margin noted in the left inguinal region, that is in close proximity to the left common femoral artery, with evidence of arterial flow in central part. Surrounding areas showed no vascularity. Distal part of left superficial femoral artery showed normal flow. Left superficial femoral vein and popliteal vein showed evidence of turbid flow and are compressible. There is no deep vein thrombosis. He was advised for some hematological investigation. The hemoglobin was found 7.8 gram%. White blood cell count was 20,000 per microliter. Anti-HCV found positive. He was positive for hepatitis C virus infection, and a chest X-ray was conducted with normal findings. He was then advised to keep the lower limb elevated. He was also given some augmentin, pantocid, and some painkiller, and was referred to CTVS department for surgery. On 21/5/2010, on 21/5/2010 around midnight, a hospital attendant found this patient lying in a pool of blood in washroom. He was immediately examined by the doctor. He was not responding to the oral commands. Pulse and BP were not recordable. CPR was started and intubation was done. CPR continued for 30 minutes but he could not be revived. And he was declared dead on 22nd May 2010 at 12:30 a.m. Then he was shifted to mortuary for medical legal autopsy. The body at autopsy, the rigor mortis was present all over the body. There is postmortem, faint postmortem lividity was present on back and dependent part of the body in supine position except pressure points. There are some dried blood stains were present over lower limbs, buttock, left inguinal region, abdomen and chest. One venesection wound was found of length 3 cm, which was present over the right lower arm medial aspect, and some multiple old injection marks were present over left forearm ventral aspects. This is the photograph of the deceased. Here there was one swelling in the left inguinal region which is covered with some bandages. There is some faint postmortem lividity on the back of the body. This is the wound. This is a venesection mark, 3 cm present over the medial aspect of right forearm lower part. This is the wound proper. So after washing the region, this is looking like this. So a wound of length 4.5 cm width 3 cm was present over left inguinal region, that is present 2 cm below left mid-inguinal point, 9 cm below and medial to anterior superior iliac spine, and 4 cm below and lateral to pubic symphysis. That is the position of the wound. So we just open that part of the wound. This is the dissection of the wound. All organs were pale. The wound was associated with surrounding swelling in an area of 9 into 6 cm. The wound surface was covered with clotted blood. On removing the clot, a defect of 4 into 3 cm was found in the anterior wall of the femoral artery. After fixation in 10% formalin, the area occupied by the clot was appeared as a cystic space. This is the space like cystic space looking like, it is a cystic space like. All other internal organs were pale. Qualitative toxicological analysis of the blood and stomach contents revealed absence of alcohol. So histopathological examination of the wound site was conducted, which shows the local soft tissue revealed infiltration of fibrofatty and fibroskeleton tissue with acute inflammatory cells forming multiple pus pockets. This is the histopathological slide. The abscess irradiated into femoral artery and vein with formation of pseudoaneurysm. The wall of the femoral artery showed destruction and is surrounded by bacterial colonies, areas of hemorrhage and acute inflammatory cells. So the cause of death opined as hemorrhagic shock, consequent to rupture of pseudoaneurysm in common femoral artery. So in discussion, what is an aneurysm? Aneurysm, according to Schwartz principle of surgery, is a dilatation of artery greater than 1.5 times of its diameter. It can be classified into true and false aneurysm or pseudoaneurysm. The true aneurysm is that where all three layers of the arterial wall in the aneurysm sac is present, and the false aneurysm is only a single layer of fibrous tissue is present in the wall of the sac. There are many causes of this pseudoaneurysm. The most common causes are atherosclerotic, traumatic, mycotic, syphilitic, and some collagen vascular disorders like Marfan syndrome. Particularly in this case, the pseudoaneurysm was due to infective origin. The probable source of infection is the intravenous injection, because here in this case the risk factors are he was a chronic drug addict. He used to take the intravenous drug, and there was impaired immunity due to hepatitis C virus infection. So these things superadded for this aneurysm of infective origin. There is arteritis in this case, which may be caused by infection extending directly or via bloodstream. That leads to arterial wall destruction. That leads to blood from the artery continues to leak, forming perivascular hematoma, and that hematoma get encapsulated, and that retain communication with the lumen, which is in this case referred as pseudoaneurysm. The aneurysm of infective origin is otherwise called mycotic pseudoaneurysm. Especially this femoral artery pseudoaneurysm is a very rare phenomenon, but it is gradually is on rising trend because of this endovascular procedures, hemodialysis, and intravenous drug abuse. This mycotic aneurysm can be defined as a localized irreversible dilatation of an artery due to destruction of the vessel wall by infection caused by infection of a previously healthy arterial wall or a secondary infection of a pre-existing aneurysm. And the most common pathogen causing this mycotic aneurysm is Staphylococcus aureus, and the most frequently seen in femoral artery, which is followed by abdominal aorta, superior mesenteric, brachial, iliac, and carotid artery. The symptoms of aneurysm is due to its expansion, thrombosis, release of emboli, and sometimes rupture, which may be fatal. The rupture of aneurysm occurs when the tangential stress exceeds the tensile strength of the artery, that is according to Laplace law. Tensile strength of the arterial wall is a function of pressure multiplied by radius. The larger the aneurysm, the more likely to rupture. So, for diagnosis of this aneurysm, these are investigations that can be conducted, like color flow duplex ultrasonography, CT, MRI, or conventional or contrast CT angiography. The treatment usually is surgical explosion. First, you have to control the bleeding by ligation of proximal and distal clamping, and the patient may advise for anticoagulant. Sometimes duplex guided compression of the aneurysm can be done, and rejection with interposition of grafting or ligation accompanied by arterial bypass can be conducted. So, in conclusion, pulsatile swelling in the inguinal region, bleeding from the wound and falling hemoglobin level should be a warning for the early recognition and effective treatment. So doctors in the emergency must be cautious about such fatal complication and prepared to avoid the same. Thank you.